There is a man who wakes up at 5 every morning to train, rain or shine, sick or healthy, motivated or exhausted. He has not missed a single day in 7 years. When people ask him how he stays so motivated, he looks confused. Then he says something that stops them cold. I am never motivated. I just do what I committed to do. Most people hear this and think he is lying or exaggerating. They think motivation must be his secret. Because we have been taught that motivation is everything. That if we could just find the right inspiration, feel the right feelings, watch the right video, then we would finally follow through on our goals. But here's the truth that no one wants to hear. Motivation is not what creates lasting change. Motivation is actually what keeps you weak. Every January, millions of people join gyms with explosive energy. They buy new workout clothes, download fitness apps, post about their transformation on social media. For 2 weeks, maybe 3, they show up. They feel good about themselves. Then one morning, the alarm goes off and something has shifted. The excitement is gone. They think, I do not feel like going today, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. By February, that gym membership is just another monthly charge they scroll past. Another reminder of the gap between who they want to be and who they actually are. This exact pattern repeats everywhere. The writer who stops writing when inspiration vanishes. The entrepreneur who quits when excitement fades. The person learning guitar who gives up the moment practice stops feeling fun. We have built our entire approach to change on the shakiest foundation imaginable, our feelings. And feelings are the most unreliable force in human experience. The ancient samurai understood something about human nature that we have completely forgotten. They knew that feelings are like weather, constantly changing, totally unpredictable. A warrior who waited to feel brave before battle would never fight. A student who waited to feel inspired before practice would never master his art. So the samurai built their entire way of life on something else. Not on motivation, on discipline, not on feeling ready, on acting regardless. There is a Japanese word that captures this principle. Giri. It translates roughly to duty or obligation, but that translation misses something crucial. Giri is not just responsibility in the way we think of it. It is a binding commitment to fulfill what you have promised, not because you feel like it, but because you gave your word. For the samurai, Giri was absolute. When a samurai made a commitment, his feelings about that commitment became completely irrelevant. He said he would do it. That ended the discussion. Here's where it gets interesting. Modern culture tells us this kind of thinking is toxic. We are told to listen to our feelings, to honor our emotional needs, to be flexible with ourselves. This sounds compassionate and healthy, but it creates a specific kind of weakness. When you make your actions depend on your emotions, you hand control of your life to the most unstable, unpredictable force that exists. Your feelings change by the hour, sometimes by the minute. They shift based on your sleep, your blood sugar, a random thought, a comment someone made. Whether it is raining outside, building your life on feelings is like building a house on sand during a storm. The foundation cannot hold. But the samurai discovered something that changed everything. They learned that feelings and actions do not have to be connected. You can feel tired and still train. You can feel unmotivated and still practice. You can feel like quitting and still continue. The feelings are just weather passing through. You acknowledge them. You notice them. But you do not obey them. This separation between emotion and action is where real power lives. Consider what happened to Yamaoka Tesshu in the late 1800s. When he began sword training at age 9, he was not a prodigy. he was clumsy with the blade, slower than his peers. He lost most of his early matches. But at age 28, after years of inconsistent training, he made a decision that would change his life. He made a vow: 1,000 sword strikes, every single day. No exceptions. Not 1,000 strikes on days he felt good. Not when he had time. Not when conditions were perfect. 1,000 strikes every day, period. Some days he was sick with fever. He still completed 1,000 strikes. Some days he traveled for hours and arrived exhausted. He still completed 1,000 strikes. Some days he doubted whether any of this mattered. He still completed 1,000 strikes. This continued not for weeks or months, but for years. 17 years of daily practice without a single day missed. Then something unexpected happened. At age 45, while sitting in meditation one morning, Tesshu achieved sudden enlightenment. That same day, he went to the training hall to spar with his teacher, Austere Jime. Austere was the man who had defeated Tesshu countless times over the years. But when Austere saw Tesshu's face that morning, he refused to fight. Looking at him, Austere simply said, "You have arrived." Tesshu had become one of the greatest swordsmen in Japanese history. Not through talent, not through motivation, through unwavering commitment to a single daily practice, regardless of how he felt. This story reveals something most people never understand. Discipline is not about forcing yourself. It is not about being harsh or rigid. Discipline is about building strength through repetition, especially when you feel weak. Every single time you act despite resistance, you train your will. Every time you follow through when your emotions scream at you to quit, you become more capable. Your willpower works exactly like a muscle. It does not grow when you rest. It grows when you push it past comfort, when you create deliberate stress, when you do what is hard. The samurai had a specific practice for this. They called it Shugyo, which means austere training. But here is what most people miss about Shugyo. It was not designed to build physical skill. It was designed to forge the spirit. Students would sit in meditation until their legs went completely numb. They would train outdoors in winter wearing minimal clothing. They would fast for days to develop mental clarity. These practices were not punishment. They were not about suffering for its own sake. They were systematic training for the will. Because the samurai understood something we have forgotten. Comfort weakens you. Discomfort strengthens you. When everything in your life is easy and pleasant, you lose the capacity to handle any difficulty. You become fragile. But when you regularly do things that are uncomfortable, you build real mental strength. You develop the ability to handle whatever life brings. Not because you feel ready, but because your will has been trained. Look at modern life through this lens, and something becomes clear. We have systematically eliminated almost all discomfort. We control temperature with heating and cooling. We avoid boredom with constant entertainment. We eliminate inconvenience with delivery services. We never have to do anything that feels unpleasant. And there is a cost to all this convenience that nobody talks about. We are becoming mentally weaker as a society. We are losing the ability to tolerate even minor discomfort. This is why so many people cannot maintain basic healthy habits. The moment something feels slightly unpleasant, they quit. They return to what is comfortable. Not because they are weak people, but because they have trained themselves through years of avoiding discomfort to obey their desire for comfort above everything else. Their discipline muscle has atrophied from lack of use. The path forward requires something specific. You must stop asking yourself the wrong question. The question most people ask is, do I feel like doing this? That question puts your emotions in control. Instead, ask a different question. Did I commit to doing this? If the answer is yes, you do it. Not because you are forcing yourself, not because you are being harsh, but because you are someone who keeps your word. This is not rigidity. This is integrity. The samurai had a saying, "I am not controlled by my feelings. I am guided by my commitments." This single shift in perspective changes everything. When you truly commit to something, you remove the daily negotiation. You do not waste energy every morning deciding whether you feel like training. You train because that is what you do. You do not debate whether you feel inspired to work. You work because you committed to it. The decision was already made. All that remains is the action. But here is something that might surprise you. When you live this way, something unexpected happens. After weeks and months of acting regardless of feeling, your feelings start to change. Not because you forced them to, but because feelings follow action more often than action follows feelings. You start to feel motivated after you have already been acting for weeks. The inspiration shows up after you have already done the work. Confidence appears after you have already proven to yourself through action that you keep your word. Most people have this backwards. They wait for motivation to create action. But the samurai knew that discipline creates action, and action eventually creates motivation. You do not need to feel strong to become strong. You become strong by acting as if you already are, even when you do not feel like it. Especially when you do not feel like it. Here is how you apply this starting today. 1. Choose one specific, non-negotiable action and commit to it for 30 days. Make it small enough that you can do it even on your worst day. 5 minutes of meditation. 10 push-ups. 1 page of writing. The size matters less than the absolute commitment. 2. Write your commitment on paper and place it where you will see it every morning. The samurai often carried their oaths written on small scrolls. This external reminder strengthens you when your internal motivation disappears. 3. Track only one thing, whether you did it or not. Do not track how you felt or how well you did it. Just mark whether you kept your word. Each mark becomes proof that you are becoming someone who keeps commitments. 4. When resistance appears, and it will appear most days, pause for 3 seconds. Notice the feeling. Say to yourself, "I feel resistant, and I will act anyway." This creates separation between emotion and action. 5. Never negotiate with yourself in the moment. The time for deciding was when you made the commitment. In the moment, you simply act. The instant you start debating whether today is an exception, you have already lost. The samurai did not achieve greatness through constant inspiration. They achieved it through daily practice, maintained across decades. They did not wait to feel ready. They made themselves ready through repetition. They did not hope for motivation. They built discipline that made motivation unnecessary. Your feelings will always vote for the easy path. They will always choose comfort over growth, delay over action, quitting over continuing. This is not a character flaw. This is simply how emotions work. They are designed to conserve energy and avoid short-term discomfort. But you are not your feelings. You are the awareness that observes them. You are the one who can choose to act aligned with your values, even when emotions pull the opposite direction. This is your true power. This is your freedom. If you are ready to build discipline that makes your goals inevitable, write in the comments, "I am guided by my commitments, not my feelings." Thank you for being here and for walking the path of the warrior.